the most important thing for me in 2019 is what we've termed the Lofted Plate. It's a new plate part type for steel. It's got many different options. It allows you to do transitions from circle to circle, do real twisted plates. Actually, I'm going to go into all these in depth in a moment. So you can go from a line to an arc, from an arc to a circle, from a circle to a twisted angled line. And what you do is you draw the construction lines and click on those, and it creates a plate between those two lines. So let's take a look how that actually works. You can see, for example, here I've got two circles, and again we can pick those circles up and drag them as we can in previous versions. Using the Lofted Plate, I can click on one circle and click on the next circle, and it'll do a transition or create a plate between those two elements. I can still pick up that plate and drag that as we would with previous functionality with circles, and again change the height on that. We can go as well from offset circle to offset circle, as you can see in this example here. We can go from arc to circle. In this case, actually what I'm doing is I'm going to go from arc and drag it up, so if you've got no circle to go to, you can actually say just drag up the same shape and alter the sort of diameters. Again, from concave curve to convex curve, as you can see there, creating these warped plates like so, and then from the curved plate bottom there to a straight line, joining those together, so really complicated shapes, as you can see, and then from the straight plate to the arc. So all the sort of different variations what you can do there. And of course, using lines at different angles, we can create these warped twisted plates. So again, we can say there, from this line here to this line, we're creating a real kind of warped plate. So a few examples there, but let's take a look at really what else we can do a lot in more depth and creating more complicated shapes using this functionality. I thought about this long and hard, and I thought, let me create a bridge deck. So with the bridge deck, what I've done is that's the bridge deck I'm looking for. So I've created these using construction lines and arcs and curves. So if I click on there, you can see that's an arc. There we've got another curve, like curved arc like so, and I've got straight lines, straight lines, straight lines. So I've used these lines to give me the construction points to create the curves between them, or the arcs. So now if I go to steel and say, okay, give me a lofted plate, I'm going to select the arcs at the outside from this one here to this one, and it creates that warped twisted plate between those two elements, as you can see there. If I now click this arc to this arc, you can see it creates that warped plate joining the two together like so. Almost like a bridge deck section. I know I've exaggerated this, but it is in effect a bridge deck section. I can click on the two lines to create that twisted plate, or I can click on the line, delete that, from the line to the actual arc at the end as well. That gives me then the option to create these real twisted plates, to create those sort of deck sections that we're never really able to create before within Tekla. Nice new functionality. Okay, so moving on, let's make a few points on this first of all. So what you do to create the lofted plate is you create the needed construction objects, so construction lines, construction circles, construction arcs. So you need that's the only, it will not work with construction planes or construction polycurves. So it'll only work with circles, arcs and lines. So defining your through the transition and parts, you need to use these construction objects here. The plane and polycurve will not work. So some examples of what you can create from that. So warped plates, chutes like so, from a large diameter sort of arc to a straight line. Strange chute options using all those different elements as I showed in the video itself. Construction offset construction circles, or construction circles that are not offset. Arc to arc, this is where you do the arc and just simply drag it up. You don't have to have an arc to work to. You can go from one arc and then just drag up the same shape to create the depth of that. And you can also do the warped bridge section, which is the example I showed you as the final one.